And welcome back to the episode of Red's Girlfriend. Last time we had the first episode. I would say for setup wise, it could, like, it's a standard ass rom-com setup. But if you actually look at it from a more critical eye, you see that the fucking main character doesn't seem to fucking want to change at all. Doesn't seem to change at all. Doesn't seem to have a true want. Doesn't really do anything. Doesn't have the classic. Doesn't have the classic romance comedy trait of one good trait in the person. Like, okay, they're trying to get it from like a loser perspective, you could say, a loner perspective, whatever. Just a main character that hasn't been in a relationship before or has been little in a relationship before. There is a reason, okay? They're just not good. And then well, okay, so that's that. Then we have most of the time, then that's the main character. Then the first episode or first chapter would be the main character and the main girl meeting each other through some circumstance that the manga or show is named after. In this case, renting a girlfriend. But then, you know what they always end with most of the time? Alluding to some problem with the girl, which we had, with Chizuru saying, like, alluding to why, or saying that there is some mysterious reason why she needs the money from renting herself out. But you know what almost always goddamn happens in that goddamn moment? The main character almost always goddamn tries to help them, or at least tries to get more out of them. But the thing is, Kazuya fucking ignored all that. So, what other reason? So, like, it doesn't seem he fucking cares for Chizuru. Like, at all. Like, I'm not even saying caring as, like, just a friend or things like that. Just somebody concerned for someone else's health. Like, a main character in these shows, I'm just complaining a lot. Maybe I should just start. Maybe. It's just there's just something missing in the first episode that it hits all the some hallmarks of a rom-com of the way they start, but it doesn't fucking finish right. It doesn't actually lead me to feel like there is gonna be a good romance sprouting out of this, because it isn't. There isn't. Well, I guess that's it. Let's begin in 3, 2, 1, go. I had a meeting on fucking campus. Uh, why do you do that? Now he knows for sure who you are. Uh, he's a college student. You're on a college campus. Well, don't you have a choice as well? Like, if you have a request, you just. God damn it. Not this shit. You guys never noticed that you guys were neighbors? How long have you been living there? Okay, so your first year college, sure. Which semester are you fucking in? Like, I know fucking, like, even if you're neighbors doesn't mean you really know each other, sure. But you at least have seen each other, right? Like, there has to be at least one, like, one time at college that somehow your schedules line up. Or somehow you come back to the same fucking time. Like, because if you got to the lectures, you would be at least guaranteed to go out and in around a set amount of schedule that is kind of similar to each other, even if you're different departments. Like, heck, I'm going to college and I see my housemate, well, ex-housemates, he moved out, like at least like twice in one semester, because somehow he goes back from campus on the exact same time I go to campus, and on one schedule cycle. And he does an entirely different degree. Chip. She got a gamer phone. That's it. Yes, you should. What? Yeah, it's better that than fucking keep up the lie. Eh. Hmm. It's not even that. She hung up on you before you could tell her. Hmm. Also, you don't technically need her. You could just say that she couldn't make it. Just say she can't make it. It's too obvious fake call. Just fucking make an excuse that she can't make it. You don't need her to fucking come. No, you didn't. It isn't even about repaying a goddamn favor or things like that you happen to do during a date. Don't tell me you're actually gonna do it. Don't. Don't. You know what normally happens during this time? Normally it's when the previous time the main character has helped the girl in some kind of way. In this instance, I would think like maybe. Okay, at least she didn't go. Why do you have an aquarium? I can't imagine him goddamn tending to aquarium. Don't get swayed by this fucking conversation. Don't. Why? Why? Why help him out? You don't. There's nothing for you to gain, and everything for you to lose. Well, not everything, but like it's just continuing. There's so much that you could just continue to be on the line. I knew this will happen because that's the standard fucking way of how these situations happen in a rom-com. But you know why it works in other shows, I feel like? Because the main character fucking helped the girl previously. Like maybe she's just getting harassed or something like that at college or some other date, and he actually helps her, and this is how she repays him, and then continues spiraling into fucking romance. But no, it's all so one-sided. Why? It's not. But what? I don't see why. Why are you just so nice to him? That she just jerked off to her photo. Wait, brand management? What are you studying? Also, just him pulling out the money immediately, like, I kind of get why that is from a story perspective, but it's also just it looks like in that instance you should just have the character ask, how could I repay you? Strangers, ignore. But then again, why should you walk past there? There's no intersection there. Wait, what? That tone. She's the manipulative type. And she's those eyes seems like the type of girl that wants to be in a lot of relationships, break up, still want the guy to go after her, and still go after her, and wants that affirmation from a big group. I just don't with you. The fucking money. Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah. Why are you still in rent-a-girlfriend mode? Why is it rent? It's just for the hospital visit, huh? Like, you already know, huh? Yeah. Don't. You're saying this shit again. You're roping yourself into another fucking goddamn girlfriend lie. It. You know, this is supposed. That part is supposed. Why is that? You know, that part, that goddamn thing, it's supposed to be taken as a joke. Not him, not the main character actually believing in that. That means you're extending it, you know? Yeah, no shite! Like, but why would you even in girlfriend? No, you won't. Why would you guys go in different ways immediately after the hospital visits? It's a fucking mixer. Yeah, it wasn't a preview. Yes. Yeah. Is you thinking of her? Mm. Yeah. Yeah. And you should move on too. Just don't fucking think about. Why is it so laggy? Well, that got laggy for a second there. What the fuck is this toilet design? Why is urinal there? Let me get. Why are you matching that? You really are into NTR. I thought that was a fucking. I thought that was a fucking acquired taste by him instead of being him already into it immediately from the start. What? Wow. What a bad axe. Just fucking ripping into him for everything. Yep, and that's exactly why I don't think he's ever gonna be a relationship as he changes. Only thinks about sex and actually being in a relationship for being the relationship. You're going to fall into goddamn. It's method acting. What about how much do you want to bet that's at the end of the day that she's gonna say that's all an act, and it is gonna be all an act? Because there's no reason for her to do this. There's no good points that he has fucking. She has one reason to upkeep her own reputation of quote unquote dating this fucking imbecile. That's the only reason, but why would she go that way if she doesn't like him? Like, she clearly doesn't actually like him. She's the only reason I can think of why she would do that is to upkeep her own reputation, if possible. But if you want to do just that, she would be more like, oh, I didn't know, I will break up with him. I'll dump him, whatever. Be the mean bitch. Come on. What? What manly side? What? Wait. You're a college student at the age of 20? In the first year? Ah. Is it skip a year? Well, not skip a year. Don't. Why is it so bad already? I would, you know what? I was actually expecting it to be okay to just bland that just turns into shite the more and more the show goes into. But it's so bad. What the fuck? Like, again, I'm gonna compare it to other rom-coms. At this point of the show, things like what's in the title, like Rent a Girlfriend, things like that, it's already technically gone. Maybe the character is still a bit editorial in it, but that's not the main focus. The main focus would have been would be the main character helping the girls, and not simply still only communicating through that thing. You know what I just thought? This isn't a fucking actual this isn't a rom-com plot. This is more of a fucking hentai plot. That's the only thing I can think of. And hentai that has multiple fucking issues, multiple quote-unquote chapters. But the reason why, I think, yeah, the only reason why a lot of hentai don't move past the first, you could say the first episode or first chapter of a rom-com plots, things like Renting a Girlfriend, somehow bumping into the to the girl and then going to sex and things like that, is that they just want to reuse that plot to fulfill as many fantasies as possible, using that one plot point, all the possibilities, and then you can go go on to do a different type of plot point. Because, yeah, in rom-coms, they would have already moved on at this point to be more character-related instead of plot-related. Things like, you know, Bunny Girl Senpai? Yeah, the show is the first episode, the first season, and things like all that is called Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. But the Bunny Girl is just the way they meet. It's the way how the main character notices the girl, because she is becoming invisible to the world, being detached from the world from her puberty syndrome, and she's wearing a bunny suits to try to stand out, because to the author that is probably the most attractive but still reasonable, the lewdest thing they can probably think of without being into 18 plus territory, you could probably say. But you know what happens after that? It becomes more of a character story of the main girl and how she's struggling and how the guy is trying to help her to overcome that. Like dressing up as my dress up doll, darling. Like, okay, so it's the way they meet is exactly like how, like in the title, the girl asked the main character to make a cosplay for her. They do that. That's the first arc, and they do that. But immediately after that gets introduced, you know what happens? It becomes a character story of the main character overcoming his fear of being humiliated, being laughed at for being into dolls. And this time it's the girl helping him to come off it, give him the confidence into it in his artistic skills. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, okay, I'm gonna go back to Disakoi. False love. That was the first episode. That's all they set up, is how the two gangs are gonna go into gang war unless the main character and the main girl pretend to be in love, so they, become a fake political marriage, you could say. And after that, it goes into a different plot. You know what happens? So the fake love is the baseline story, but the actual plot is the guy trying to find the girl with the key to his locket. It's got set up in the first episode, but it gets sidelined for the main selling point of the show or the story, and then it gets back reintroduced back, and then that is it. You see what I'm going on here? It's like, it could have been a very interesting story. I feel like a very interesting story if you had this be I guess a quite a bit more mature. B actually having a competent writer for this. Because a rom-com of a guy helping out a girl that's renting herself out as a girlfriend, you could go into quite a bit of an psychological and quite a few stories, even through a bit of comedy. Romance, a bit of comedy, but mostly psychology. You could make that quite a great story, I feel like. A bit of a commentary on, like, compensated dating markets. all I see is just shit. Like, he still pays Chizuru for everything. He doesn't actually stand up for himself. It's Chizuru who does that, but there's no fucking reason for it to do it, really. At least there's no reason to do it for him. If she's doing it for herself. He has not done anything likable. It has just been him being like, there are characters with way worse attributes than him, way more perverted, way more that still be more likable because they still have a more another moral compass, but just actually do something good for someone else. Fuck you, Sal. Well, I guess with that said, that'll be it for episode of Rent a Girlfriend. And I reluctantly see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
And here are the people who decided to sell out their souls. Welcome to hell.